That island is Hinson's Island, and that's where the ferry picks up. That's our house at the very end, straight ahead. Come around the island. This is the east side of the island, and that's the ferry hut. From the ferry hut, that's Daryl's Wharf. That's another place the ferry stops. That's in Paget. Hinson's Island is also a part of Paget Parish. This is the south side of Hinson's Island. That is Dr. Sherwin's house. That is the ramp where the island will pull out their boats, and that's the Cooper's house. This is the western side of the island. The house on the very end to the left is our house. The house on the end right here is the other side of the Cooper's house. And that right there is Paget. And that is the ferry hut for the Belmont pickup. And that might be a half a mile away or less from Hinson's. This is the back side of our house on the westerly side, sort of the, what would you call that, Kevin? The southwest side, I guess, because we're on a peninsula. This is our neighbor island. That house right there was designed by the illustrator for The Wizard of Oz. That's Marshall Island. That's another neighbor island. The Wizard of Oz house. And that's our house. And that's Dr. and Mr. Hetzel's house. That's the ferry that picks up at Daryl's on the other side of the harbor. Hinson's Island is in the middle of the harbor. Now the ferry leaves Daryl's and it heads to Belmont. And then Hinson's is the next stop before it goes into Hamilton. Belmont's just over there. Comes the ferry. It's on its way. I continue down the path. That's Hamilton over there. The bushes are in the way, but that would be the way to the yacht club. The path goes around. This is the Broadhurst house. And as you can see, Hamilton might be a half a mile away with that small little island between us. And I'll continue around the path to the ferry dock. Bye. There's the ferry. Ready to get on? Ferry ride. That's Paget. The south side of the ocean. OD. Where that yellow tower is the entrance into the yacht club when we park our boat. If we don't take the ferry in that little area on the right. More place to berth your boats. A club where you go join functions. And you see where that boat is. That's the fast ferry.
No, no, no!
Where we berth our boats. Ours is like this last row right here. We have a berth.
Oh, people! People!
Yeah.
People! Like people! Like people! People! That's your
program going on. It's a big deal here. And this is where the ferry docks. That's the cruise street. That's the cruise ship. That's Front Street. That's sort of like the big city where everything is in Bermuda. And this is Hamilton. Leavenworth is right there in that building.
No!
And VHS is just a block down from that street. There, yay! Big boat! This is Hamilton, Bermuda. It's the big city. That's Leavenworth straight ahead in the middle. That's the yacht club. That's where they're weighing marlins for the big fishing tournament that just went on. That's the gas station. This is Hamilton. That's the Princess. And that's the yacht club. And that's where we park our boat. Hamilton. This is Community by our boat. That's the Hamilton Princess. This is commute by our boat to Hinsons Island, which is, that's our house right there.
Ready?
That's how long the commute is by boat to Hamilton. This is our house. This is our outdoor patio. This is our front yard and our little beach. That's the little walkway that takes you all the way around the island. The other side is Hamilton. It's about 3/4 of a mile away. That's our outside patio. That's our house. That's the path that goes all the way around the island. This is our next door neighbor's house, Dr. Hetzel and Mr. Hetzel and their 2 kids. Daniel's 14 and Laura's 17. That's the path. Ooh, that sun is bright. That's the path from our gate that gets you to this path. Oops, look over the waterway. And that's Hamilton across the way. This is a common dock area that everybody's allowed to use. Everybody on the island. And that's the path to go around. This is where the full circle around the island begins. You can either take the path to the right or the path to the left. And this path will take you all the way around the island with all the houses on your left and about 12 acres of common land in the middle. That was down there, the common dock that I was just standing at. This house right here is my doctor, Jane Cryer, and that's her house and her husband John. I'm going to take the path to the left. This is the path that will take you to the ferry dock. I'm still on the path. This is the common land that we use most frequently for potlucks and stuff. We celebrate stuff like Guy Fawkes Day or New Year's Eve or Easter here. Everybody on the island gets together and has a potluck. That tree straight ahead has some rope swings, and then beyond that tree there is a hidden fort for the kids. So I'm going to continue on this path. I took the path to the left, and that's how the path sort of curves around. As you can see, it kind of comes from down there. And I'll continue walking around. So I continued down this path, and it brought me back to the beginning, where you can either go left or right to go all the way down around the island. That was the other side of that island, and that's Hamilton. I just went around the corner a bit. There's the cruise ship. That pink building right there in the middle of the screen is the Southampton Princess. This is what is a horseshoe, so there's no way to get out there. The water dead ends. So you can actually drive your car around from that Southampton Princess. Is a road from Hamilton that will take you all the way around till eventually you would get on the other side, where I'll give you a better view of what would be Daryl's and Paget. So I will continue down the path. At the end of this path is the ferry pickup. I just walked down the path. This is where you can either continue in the circle around the island. That's the path. So if you go right, you continue in the circle around the island. If you make a left, you go down, and that's the ferry dock. I'll walk down. So that's Hamilton. And there's the cruise ship. The Southampton Princess is behind this island in the middle of the screen. That's the horseshoe, so this is the harbor, and you can drive all the way around to that building right over there is Daryl's. So the ferry also picks up over there. That's mainland Paget. And then the ferry would go that way to Belmont, and that might be, I don't even think that's a half a mile away. It's definitely less than a half a mile to the Paget side of the island. And I would say that's pretty. So then that would be the path that I would walk back up. So down that way is the ferry dock, or I just walked from that. I'm going to continue the full circle around the island. That's our neighbor Marshall and his dog. And the path continues this way. That's a shared common dock where anybody on the island can use that. And this is next to Dr. Sherwin's house, which is Megan's house, which is a really good friend of the girls. That's the path that goes all the way around the island. So I just continue that forward. It'll take me around. So here's where it continues in that direction. So I'll continue all the way around. So I just continue down the path. Now I can either make a left or a right. The right will continue and meet with the circle that I started at. I'll show you that. But if you go to the left, that is the path you take down to the ramp, where everybody on the island can take their boat out for repairs, or if they're only seasonal boats or whatever. And then we continue walking down this path towards our house. So I just continued walking down the path. This is a bit of a straight stretch that continues right here.